Welcome to the SARS Tax Practitioner Readiness Program, Module 8, Part 3, Complaints and Escalation Management. What are the learning objectives of this module? Well, at the end of this module, you are expected to understand the complaints, the SARS complaint management process. You need to understand the channels of resolution of these complaints. And then you also need to understand the escalation process when service issues are unresolved. I don't know if you've noticed, but SARS has a slogan, and that slogan is SARS at your service. Yes, as an organization, we realize that we need to provide you with a high standard of service. Now, this standard of service is outlined in our service charter. And I would really encourage you to go to our website, download the most recent service charter, and familiarize yourselves with the service charter, because that is where we set out the standards for service. Now we know that it is important both for you and for us to get service correct. And we are always looking for ways to improve our service to you. However, because we're so focused on service, there might be instances where we get it wrong. And we've introduced a mechanism for you to, unfortunately, lodge complaints to SARS where the service offering is not up to standard. However, I would like to say that if you are happy with the service that you received, and you would like to pass on that compliment to our staff or even to a group of us, please notify us, and we will make sure that it reaches the right people. But let us discuss now, what is a complaint? While a complaint is a grievance or any form of dissatisfaction that you experienced or that your client experienced in relation to a SARS process which was not properly followed, or service that was not adequately rendered, and more importantly, not within the prescribed turnaround times as per the service charter. And once more, it's important to note the service charter. However, a complaint is not replacing the lodging of an objection or an appeal if you are unhappy with the outcome of an assessment, or you are unhappy or in disagreement with an administrative penalty that we have imposed, or you are unhappy with the underestimation penalty that SARS has imposed. For those specific issues, there are specific procedures that needs to be met, and these are separate processes completely, and a complaint should not be lodged for those kind of cases. So where you have a grievance, or you are dissatisfied with the kind of processes that SARS has followed or with the quality of the service, please, by all means, lodge a complaint to SARS. There are different categories of complaints. For example, category number 1 is a legal complaint or a policy complaint. And the example there is, let's say, SARS does not allow debit cards, for example, as an acceptable form of payment. You would like to complain about that. Or you would like to complain about the employee behavior, or the incompetence of maybe a staff member. And here we're talking about, you maybe contact our branch office and an agent is rude to you, or the agent does not know how to assist you. You can lodge a complaint for that as well. Category 3 is how you experienced a channel or the environment, or how a technical issue was addressed. And here we are talking about the contact center is maybe slow to answer the calls, or there's no parking, for example, at a particular branch. The 4th category refers to the quality and the speed of service. And here we're talking about the incorrect resolution of requests, or that it took 6 months to process banking details, for example. The 5th category refers to unresolved service or operational matters. And here we're talking about the turnaround times that might have been exceeded in terms of the service charter. The sixth category is we are talking about missing or lost documentation. And here we are talking about SARS maybe misplacing correspondence that you might have submitted, or maybe even your tax return completely. The manner in which you submit, or the information that you need when submitting a complaint, is important depending on the category that we are looking at, and we'll get to that a little bit later. However, although we are encouraging you to lodge complaints where we get it wrong, we would however prefer if you first try to resolve the issues yourself before lodging a complaint. And here we could talk, we could refer to, engaging a supervisor or a manager at the point of contact and trying to resolve the matter there. Or about maybe you could schedule an appointment to visit a branch office, again, with the intention of resolving the service issue. You could also visit our mobile tax unit or even phone our contact center. So although we want to encourage you to lodge a complaint in instances where we've got it wrong, we would, however, prefer that you follow the normal channels to try and resolve the issues before submitting a complaint. How do you lodge a complaint? Well, you can lodge it through e-filing, which is again the preferred channel. You could either fax, post, or email the necessary information or complaint to us. And as we indicated earlier, you could even schedule an appointment to visit a branch, and our agents within the branch office would be glad to assist you in completing the necessary complaint forms. Or you could even contact our complaints hotline, which is on the following telephone number, which is 0860 12 12 16. So please note that the complaint form itself isn't available for download or for printing. We can't post it to you. So it is an online form, and we would appreciate it if you could complete it on e-filing or by going into the nearest branch office. Now that you have lodged a complaint, what can you expect? Well, you will receive an SMS from us or an email notification at various stages of the process. And when you've logged your complaint, you will then receive an acknowledgement notification the same day. The resolution date should be no more than 21 days after the complaint has been logged. Now, it's important here that you remember that with each complaint, there will be supporting documents that you might need to submit. And it's important that the 21 days starts counting after you have submitted all the necessary documentation. So please, before you lodge a complaint, make sure that you have all the documentary proof on hand, upload it so that the 21 days starts immediately when you lodge your complaint to SARS. So what's the process that you need to follow? Well, as we indicated earlier on, that there are 6 categories of service-related issues: the quality or speed of service, unresolved issues, and missing documentation. If it is one of those categories, then we're going to say, during your initial interaction with SARS, do you have a case number? If you don't have a case number, you then need to contact SARS in order to get one. If you do have a case number, then you can proceed to lodge a complaint with SARS. If, however, the complaint is with regard to behavior, the experience of our staff, or legal and policy issues, we're not going to ask you, do you have a case number? You don't need to have a case number for those 3 categories of complaints. There you can just lodge a complaint with SARS. If, however, the feedback that you've received from SARS is not up to your satisfaction, and if you are still unhappy, well, then you can lodge a complaint with a tax ombudsman. So Please keep in mind that there are different categories of complaints. And based on the category of the complaint, it will be determined whether it is necessary for there to be a case number or not. In most instances, there would probably be a case number required. So we will advise you to keep those case numbers with you. And please make sure that when you log the complaint, make sure that you have all the necessary documentation at hand in order to submit it. We really do hope that we will not go down that road where you have to lodge a complaint. But if you do, please note that we welcome your complaints because it gives us an idea of where we as SARS has missed the mark when it comes to SARS at your service.